So my first guitar was a Stratocaster just like this one. And I remember that I got it on my 16th or 17th birthday. And it was Stratocaster just like this one. The only difference was that the color, instead of being white vintage cream, it was black. And well, the brand was a brand, one of those coast brands. It was a Johnson. I don't know if they're still making guitars to this day. The thing is that I started learning on that guitar, and the thing that bothered me the most of this guitar was that every single band that I used to listen back then, all of them used to have humbuckers on their guitars. Every single brand from Slayer to Death, Metallica, and since the only difference that I could spot was that my guitar had no humbuckers, I thought to myself, well, that is maybe the only thing that is making me not sound like them. And back then I was so obsessed with, you know, the metal brands like Jackson, Busy Reach, Dean. The meanest the guitar would look, the more it would look like a knife or something, like it would cut you or you would be able to kill someone with that guitar, the more I liked it. Yeah, things change. And after a few months, maybe a year of playing that guitar and learning the ropes, I didn't like it. I thought it wasn't metal enough. I thought that this guitar is not helping me to achieve the sound that I wanna get. And back then when I started learning how to play guitar, I remember that I went to this school, and I remember that there were some metalheads that knew a whole lot about music and metal, and they just would tell me, no dude, you just have to get rid of that guitar. That is not metal, that won't help you to achieve the tone that you want to get and all of this. So obviously I had to get rid of that guitar. I remember one day walking on a shopping mall and I passed right through a music store and I see that guitar. It's one of the brands that I wish the most, Jackson. It was a Jackson GA12, a dinky, the one that had a humbucker and 2 single coils, the humbucker obviously in the bridge. I remember seeing the headstock and then seeing the humbucker and I was like, holy fucking shit, that is exactly what I need. And I bought it, obviously. I got rid of that Stratocaster, I sold it, and I bought that Jackson. It was a used Jackson, but it was in fairly good condition. So now, a few years later, a bit older, and a bit more knowledgeable. I know the difference between a humbucker and a single coil, which by the way, last week I made a video that touched a little bit on that theme. You can click here to watch it. Why is this misconception so common? Talking about a humbucker is just better to play metal, or it's just better than a single coil. Well, instead of me telling you a biased reason, let me show you with a few examples. The takes you're about to listen were recorded with this Stratocaster, which is a Harley Benton that I completely relicked or destroyed. I just really wanted a guitar that looked like it went through war and plays just as good as any other guitar, so that was the idea. Anyways, this is the guitar that I am using to play those examples or those riffs. And this microphone used is the Zimmerlinken Hot Rails bridge position, obviously. The thing is that I wired this guitar to have the volume knob as a push-pull, so whenever I pull or I engage this button, I will split the coils, meaning that I will only be playing with one of the microphones, so to speak. And when I push it down, I have the full sound of the humbucker. So to debunk a few myths, number one. So when it comes to metal, humbuckers are preferred, and maybe this is my personal opinion, but I think that is the general rule. Number one, because of its higher output level. Number two, because offers more control over dynamics. Number three, maybe it offers a more full sounding tone that will obviously depend on which humbucker you are using. And number four, less noise. Run again. This might be true only in the part where a humbucker is less noisy than a single coil, and that is obvious because a humbucker was specifically designed to cancel the 60 Hz hum noise that gets into your guitar because of a shitty electrical installation. So, can you play metal on a Stratocaster or in any guitar that has single coils? Of course you can. You can play metal on an electrical pony-shaped ukulele if you like. Once again, all of this comes down to personal taste. What you like is what you like, and that is what you are going to use, and that is what is going to sound better for you. That's it. When it comes to the creative process of music creation, anyone tell you what might be best for you or your sound. Go for what you like. Do a little research on these days, the YouTube era or internet era. You can find pretty much any tone, like any guitar with any kind of pickups in it, so you can have a pretty good idea of what is the sound that you are going to get with this guitar plus this humbucker or this pickup. And don't get too obsessed about what the exact type of pickup you are going to use. Just go with what you like, maybe listen to your favorite bands. There are plenty of channels that have interviews and they show the guitar they're playing, what microphones they are using, what humbuckers they are using, so you can have a pretty good idea of the kind of equipment or the kind of gear that you would have to use in order to get the sound that you like. But once again, just don't get too obsessed about that. Just find a pickup that you might like, buy it, install the thing in your guitar and try it out. And while you do your research, beware of forums. While some people might give you a great advice, some others will just tell you something that makes absolutely no sense. They just want to show you that they know more than you. So beware of that. Maybe you are better off sticking with YouTube while seeing and listening videos of people who are going for the exact same pickup that you are hunting, instead of trusting the mighty advice of a keyboard warrior. And I insist, don't get too obsessed about just making the right decision right now. You might find yourself a few months from now, a few years from now, swapping the pickup on your guitar because you just found out that you don't like the bass response on that humbucker and that you would like something that has less output or whatever the hell it is. For example, in my case, for years and years, I loved a guitar tone which had massive amount of gain and bass. And that's exactly why I own two guitars which have Seymour Duncan Invaders on them. But right now I am leaning towards a more less aggressive sound, so to speak. So I'm trying to choose which pickup will be my next victim. But I'm pretty sure it's in the likes of the Seymour Duncan JB or maybe the DiMarzio, the Super Distortion 2 or the Evolution. It's in between those three. So that's it for this video. I hope that all of this rambling helps you make a more informed decision on what is the tone that it's right for you. Don't be afraid, just experiment, go for what you like, set standards, don't listen to annoying people on forums. You do you and f them. So go ahead and do your homework while you listen to some heavy, nice music, headbang here and there, get yourself a nice beer, it's Friday, you deserve it.
Break your neck.